Visual, high-angle shot of a rain-slicked, winding coastal road near Portland, Maine. Wind howls. The camera pushes in on a frantic police scene. The sound of the wind, the cry of a K-9, and the terrified whispers of a dozen officers. That was the soundtrack of the disaster. A patrol car hung broken on a cliff edge. And below, clinging to wet rock, was Officer Miller, critically injured. His K-9, Ranger, whimpered, tied off by a young state trooper, Lieutenant Kellen. Kellen was shouting into his radio, but his hands were shaking. He was losing the scene, and everyone knew it. Then, a quiet figure moved past the caution tape. He looked like a park maintenance worker. Old canvas jacket, utility belt, hands stained with soil. His name was Jesse. Civilian. Step back. This is an active scene. Kellen barked. Jesse just held up a heavy-duty carabiner. His eyes, fixed on the chaotic drop, held a terrifying, focused calm that cut through all the noise. He looked like a man who knew the difference between being loud and being necessary. "Lieutenant," Jesse said, his voice low, "that vehicle is resting on loose rock. Give me 5 minutes. I know this cliff. Your anchor is failing." Kellen laughed, a short, ugly sound of arrogance. "An audit? Your grounds crew. We got certified SAR teams coming. Go secure the perimeter, groundskeeper." The insult was designed to sting. But Jesse simply nodded and turned toward the thickest oak tree, his movements already purposeful. He didn't argue. He didn't look for revenge. He just started working. Jesse's silence was his weapon. While Kellen frantically tried to untangle his expensive, complex gear, Jesse was already fixing a simple winch to the oak, testing the heavy line with practiced skill. He wasn't rushing, he was just efficient. Then the sickening sound. A crack that everyone heard. The earth beneath the patrol car groaned, and a sheet of mud began to slide. Faster this time. Kellen froze. His complex plan instantly useless. At that exact moment, Jesse finished securing his line. He straightened, the rope coiled over his shoulder, and gave Kellen a flat look. The lieutenant's face went slack. The surrounding officers, who had been gossiping just moments before, now watched Jesse, completely silent. The wind's howl seemed to drop away, leaving only the sound of the rain. Jesse didn't wait for permission. He moved to the very edge, but not the way the others did. He found a tiny, almost invisible fissure in the rock, a fault line only an expert could spot. He secured his harness, a simple, worn leather rig, and clipped in. "Sir," he called to Kellen, the command in his voice absolute. "I need you to stabilize this line. 30 degrees south. Now." Kellen, completely dismantled by the sudden shift in power, stammered, then obeyed. Jesse moved over the edge. It wasn't a frantic slide. It was a controlled, professional descent. He wasn't just pulling rope. He was reading the rock, shielding the line with his own body weight. His skill was undeniable. The groundskeeper was moving like a special forces major. Down below, he reached Officer Miller, secured him quickly, and signaled the lift. As the officer ascended, Kellen's radio squawked. The police chief's voice was clear and sharp. "Kellen, is that Major Jesse Thompson on the line? The one who drafted the state's high-angle disaster protocol 6 years ago? The one we had to beg to hire after his deployment?" The truth hit Kellen like a physical blow. The quiet man he had insulted was the author of the very protocol he was failing to execute. Jesse was lifted back to the top. The first thing he did was check on Ranger, the terrified K-9, before removing his own harness. Kellen tried to speak. He opened his mouth, a pathetic apology dying on his lips. His hand, which had been so quick to point and dismiss, now shook with guilt. He couldn't find his voice. The weight of his arrogance was too heavy. Jesse didn't offer contempt or revenge. He looked at Kellen with a quiet understanding of what failure truly felt like, and simply handed him the winch hook. Jesse then walked back to his old utility truck, not looking for a single word of praise. He picked up a stray piece of caution tape and tossed it neatly in the bed. A week later, the official memorandum landed. The Portland Coastal Safety Audit was now officially under the supervision of Major Jesse Thompson. Kellen was transferred. Jesse's integrity didn't seek to punish an individual. It simply reformed the failing system. He drove away, the sunrise finally breaking through the heavy, dark clouds. The most powerful people often do their life-saving work in silence.